And we're live. Sort of. And I forgot my hat. I need my hat. Because, I need my hat. So, how's everybody doing today? We're going to work on the hodgepodge. And actually, if this all works, beware. If you have headphones on, this might start feeding back. We're going to try and use the cam here. This is my iPad. So hopefully we can get a good view of everything. So, IC3D. Am I getting feedback? What is up, Ryan? I can hear it. Am I getting feedback, Mr. Ryan, since you're the only one talking in chat? I'm hoping no feedback. I'm hoping. Anyway, a little. This freaking thing, I don't know why they won't let you turn it down. That should help. Turn the mic off. Is that any better? Hopefully. Okay. So, IC3D and LDO Motors sent me some stuff a long time ago. I think I actually started planning this in February or March or something like that. And they sent me some stuff. I had a live stream with Ryan where I gave away some filament that IC3D sent me to, promote this whole thing. And then, COVID hit and the world stopped and I had other issues. But anyway, so I have all this extrusion and I have motors and I have boards and I have parts and I have everything I should need. Actually, I don't think I have everything, but I have a lot of stuff. And I want to thin it out. And instead of just throwing it out, let's build a printer. So I have all these parts, mostly extrusions, and I think that's where we'll start today because I got to figure out how I'm going to build it. And I couldn't decide between a square frame and a bed slinger. I have mini sample spool I1 right here. Yeah, you haven't used it yet, have you? I know some people don't have issues printing with IC3D. You got to print it hot because I think they mix it with ABS. I really do. Or they do something with it because it smells funny. Make it not suck. Okay, Mr. Jakey Matt. I have to figure out how I'm going to lay it out. And what I'm going to use for parts. And I really want to use these 2040s for the towers. The color I sent, didn't I send you that no-name color that's like a mix? Or did you get some of the actual black? Oh, you got one of the actual rolls, huh? Anyway, so I think I'm going to use these for the towers because they're big and heavy, which means I can't use rollers on the towers, but I do have smooth rods, which are okay. Yeah, it's not really clear, Ryan. It's got like bits of blue mixed in and gray. It was a transition roll. It's cool though. It is basically clear. You're right. But it does have color mixed in. So, first off, let's figure out how we're going to lay this thing out. Now, all I have for a bed is this whole thing, which I bought this way back, not realizing back then what the hell I was buying. This is like one of the first accessories I bought and never used because I didn't realize it was just a PCB board one. It wasn't an actual aluminum plate. But that's okay. They work. So I'm going to use this. And I have a sled. And I have a flex sheet with PEI on it that's all beat up. That's made for this bed because I basically had the same size bed. I just wanted a better heater. So I have the bed parts generally. I think I'm going to use wheels on the bed. So that means I need 2 pieces of V-groove for the bed. And then I can use 2 of these. Are these the same length? No, that's a lot longer. Is that V-groove? That is V-groove. Oh, that's that beat up V-groove. I think I'll be using that for framing. So, if I put this way, and that way, and I put this on here like so, and these are both V-groove, which I really don't want to use there. But if I have to, I have to. Well, I could make it less hodgepodgey and use those here, so those match. Then use this here, like so. And there's my bed frame. And these are my 2 uprights. And then I have a cross piece. Ow. Elbow. And then I still got spares if I need something for something. Oh, I still need an X, so this will be my X. I'll have to cut it, but that's okay. Or I could just use this one that's pre-cut and cut less off of it. Because that'll make a fine X. Sure it will. So there's that. So I think I have the parts laid out. It's going to be a basic bed slinger style. And yeah, let's not have those fall over. So now all I got to do is figure out how I'm going to attach all this and if I'm going to cut any of it down. And I really don't want to cut it down because the whole point of this is when I'm all said and done, I give it away. I don't keep it. Although no one's probably going to want it. There is that. So if I go like that and like that and like that and like that, and I'm actually thinking about putting these underneath this. Because here's the other thought is Jason from LDO sent me the motor. And he actually sent me more when I was talking to him about it. This is an oddball motor. It's a weird screw. It's a single start. Weird. It's a one-off. There's not another one like it. So I can't get another Z-Rod. But he sent me 2 more. So I could still do two Z-screws. But my thought would be to still use it. And what I do is I use belts and smooth rods with pulleys to get both sides. So there's only one lead screw, but it still lifts both sides, which will work because that's basically how my llama core is built. There's only one. My bed is only driven by one. It's a big motor, but there's one motor driving the bed, and then it belts out to both lead screws. Where if I take a belt and I go up and down, as this goes up and down, the belt will pull it up and down. We'll go through the smooth rod. And actually, I was thinking about doing it from underneath instead of on top. So you have all that clearance. Not that this is all that long. I think it's just 300 millimeters long. How long is it? And I can lift it so I can almost get full. Yeah, it's just 300. By the time you take away the cage and everything, you might get 220-ish. Although I might be able to figure out a way to get a full 300 out of it. Or darn close. I might have to think on that. I think I can do it by setting it off, offsetting it from here. So all you're using is that little bit. So all I'd lose is this. So I can get like 250 instead of having the whole thing. Anyway, use the belt to tie both sides of the X carriage together. So instead of having two lead screws, you have one lead screw. The two belts are actually lifting it or keeping them. Let me rephrase that. The two belts are keeping it parallel. And this is still doing the lifting, which is fine. It'll do it. I know it will, without a problem. So, yeah. I may have to cut some of this down. Maybe. That's that cheap V-groove, isn't it? That nothing will fit on. I bought a cheap piece of, yeah, I know it is, of black V-groove from Amazon. And it's actually, it's still 2020, but the V-groove is off. And you can't tighten the eccentric nut to it. It won't tighten. It's just a little bit, the V-groove is a little bit wider and a little bit deeper. So when you try and tighten the wheel, it never, the eccentric nut goes all the way through its circle and never actually tightens down on it. And I'm pretty sure this is the piece. Might be this one. Nope. Pretty sure this is it. Only one way to find out. I'd rather actually have, if that'll tighten up on it, let's find out. I think I should have a wheel set right here somewhere. Because that is really smooth too. There's no nicks or dings or anything in it. So if I make the carriage V-groove and I make the bed V-groove and just make the Z LMUs, which I have plenty of too, that should be good. And I hope I saved all my smooth rods. I was talking about getting rid of them, and I might have actually. And then I have this I can use for who knows what. Maybe I'll make some legs with this. And yeah. Carriage. I think I have one already built somewhere. Don't know where, but I have one. Thought I had one anyways. I'll be able to take it apart. I'm not taking it apart. Which is possible. I'm going to need all of these. Now the other kinker is I have these that I could use on the bed instead of doing rods for the Z. But then I'm not going to be using the 40-20s. I'd be using 20-20s for the X to do the carriage. So I guess I could use these on the X. I want to just screw onto the carriage. They're kind of big and bulky. I mean, they are pretty heavy, which is why I took them off. They are solid as all hell. And these are actually halfway decent. But they are heavy, really heavy. And you ready for the big boom? Someone's blasting over there. Just heard the horn. It's freaking, we're having like a wicked storm and they're over there blasting in the rain. We're having like a wicked wind storm. like 30 and 40 mile an hour winds, and they're over there blasting in downpours, which I guess doesn't matter. All right, what did I do with that carriage? Probably in this box of crap. I have a huge box of crap, which is the whole point of this build, is to get rid of some of this crap. And wires, power supplies, more power supplies. This is actually a good power supply. It just needs a new fan, which I probably have one of them in town. There's 2 smooth rods, and I know I got more than that. What else do I got in here? Mostly wire. I still have the original board, and I kind of wanted to use this, but check this out. Oh, the box just collapsed from the side. I have the original board from the Max Micron. This is like old, and believe it or not, this thing printed really well. It's just loud, and it has this problem. These little suckers popped off, which is why I replaced it. They were like badly soldered on there, and it's only the 2 of them, but I don't think I could solder them back on. But it was actually a really good board, and it's a, I don't know, it's a knockoffy, make their own board. It's actually called an MXP Pro V 1.5, which is Hicktop and Max Micron, I guess, for the same company, because it's a Hicktop board. It doesn't say that on it, but from what I understand, it's what it is. But it actually works pretty well, other than those 2, whatever they are, little thermal things, whatever they are, popped off. And I got 2 more smooth rods here. So my thought would be, I could do these as the bed. Oh, these are the ones that are warped though, huh? Yep. These are the ones from the A-net. They were on the bed of the A-net, and they drooped. They bent. So when Glenn from Fun Kings first sent me, first started trying to do it, he's trying to level the bed, and he can't level the bed when the bed keeps changing its height as it moves. It's not like it was just off. It literally, as it moved, would change the height. So you can never level it with these things. But these would be fine for belt drives. Who cares if they're a little bent? I can actually straighten them out too, because I think I still got my puller outside. I can stretch them and then straighten them. And they're not that bad. These are fine. These 2 are warped. And I bet I can straighten them out, at least reasonable. So for driving a pulley, really only need 1. Use these for the Z, like a really Prusier E style one. Use one of these for the pulleys, because you only need 1. The other ones could just be free floating idlers. As long as one of them's tying it together. And I bet I can straighten that out. I can probably do it right now. I don't know if that's my table or if it's actually the rod. Yeah. Well, all you have to do, and I'll never get it perfect because I don't have the proper equipment. I have a clamp. We used to straighten them for construction because we used to have to straighten the threaded rods when we do hurricane stuff. And if they weren't straight, they wouldn't line up. So I have a clamp thing that you clamp it and it pulls, and you just tap it with a hammer. And as it pulls, it'll actually straighten itself out to some extent, enough where we could like get it through a really tight hole. And I don't know if you've seen them, but around here we have to have these hurricane clips that tie the top floor and the bottom floor walls together. So it goes through the top plate, ties onto the stud, clamps onto the stud. It's all threaded to the stud, goes through the bottom plate, goes through the floor joists to the top plate of the floor underneath it, and then ties onto the stud, and you clamp them together. And they're about this long, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little longer, actually. They're just shorter 2 feet. And we have to straighten them once in a while. And again, those we don't get perfectly straight. They just have to be straight enough so when you drill the hole, you drill all the holes, it doesn't like curl out and it never lines up. It's really hard to line them all up through the floor joists, especially if they're half finished, because they used to make that. It's one of those things they started making us do when the building was half finished. So we all used to straighten the rods out because they'd come all crappy. I mean, we'd just get standard crappy galvanized threaded rod and straighten it. Well, I think I can. I mean, it's really not all that bad, especially if I'm just using it for pulleys. Because as long as it does it equally on both sides, it's always going to be the same. It doesn't matter. Because if this one pulls a certain amount and this one pulls a certain amount, they'll always be tied together. Even if it's wobbling, as long as they're both wobbling the same, it'll always pull the same, right? Right, yeah. The tool chains that ran on smooth rods. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of smooth rods. They're too easy to bend is the only problem. And they're heavy as hell. Because that's how, like, the only I don't like is the Ultimaker and stuff. Now I think they're using 10s or even 12 millimeter rods, not 8s, but that's how the Ultimakers and the Raises work. I think Raise uses 2 on one side and 1 on the other or something. I don't know. Something along those lines. But I think I can straighten that out, at least enough to make it viable for the pulley. Again, if this has an motion and it makes this rotate a certain amount, even if that is oblong, as long as it's oblong on both sides, it's always going to raise it evenly. Because this is going to be the controller. Not these. This is just tying the two together. So whatever the amount of motion is on this side gets the same amount of motion. So in theory, unless I'm missing something, and I don't think I am, it shouldn't matter because they'll both wobble the same. As long as the pulleys wobble the same, everything should be the same. Right. Again, in theory. There's the little spot. There's the high spot. You lost your marbles. I don't have any marbles to lose, dude. What is up, Mr. Zolan? So, the only thing I might actually be short of, and I think I can hodgepodge that too because I have others from the original A-net build, is actual screws for the angle brackets, and I might be short angle brackets. Work day. No work around here. Today is holy crap. I can't believe I still have power day. 2 hours ago, it was sort of like one of those hazy sunny days. You know what I mean? There's the clouds, but they're real thin. It was still sort of sunny, and they said like 9 o'clock the storm was going to roll in, and they were pretty much spot on. It was like 9:15. It went from halfway decent, kind of. It was like 60 out, and kind of nice, and to now there is probably a consistent wind of 20, 25 miles an hour, and gusts are going into the, I mean, I'm guessing here, but upper 30s, low 40s. And we're supposed to cap out in the 50, 60 mile an hour winds tonight. So it's very likely I could lose power. I don't know. We probably won't because all the leaves are down. So the trees don't really, we actually lose power less this time of year because there's no leaves on the trees. So the trees don't fall as easily. I mean, you still get some that break in the wind, but yeah, the Oklahoma normal. It's kind of normal here too. It's just we normally don't get it we don't get that much wind. It's windy here every day. Very seldom is the wind ever calm here. But we normally don't get this much wind. And I think I just made it worse. Okay, is it settling on the up or down? It's settling on the down. So this is the up. So if I put it on my knee, my good knee, and I flex it this way, that should straighten it out a little. Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, I can probably straighten this. How far out is it? Let's use the square that Mr. Workhockey says isn't square. Which all I'm using it for now is a straight edge. Right there is the high spot. I don't know if I can bend it. I don't think I'm actually bending it at all. Or as much as I was hoping. It's actually tougher than I thought. I have bent these before though. Straightened them. It's not terrible. I've seen worse. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, but it's not perfect, but again, not all that concerned about it being perfect because it doesn't theoretically matter. So, first off, I still want a carriage, and I know I got one built around here somewhere. What the hell did I do with it? I bet it's in the drawers. Oh, poor me. And that's where it is. And I got another carriage here. I'm going to do this project someday too. Maybe I'll do it with this printer. Okay, I need my glasses. I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Alright, I got a carriage with really crappy wheels on it. This one's all loose. That one's all loose. Oh, man. You know. Do it this way. Which one was this one? I'm pretty sure this is the one I can't tighten up on. Helps if I have all the stuff I need, huh? So, buttons. Yeah, actually, I think this is the same storm you're getting right now, or just had, or kind of came from southwest and just blew in like literally within hours. Oh, it's tight. Okay, so everything's tight. Let's see if I can tighten the eccentric nut on there. And I think I have the perfect wrench for that right here somewhere. This one, is it in this one, is it in this drawer? Come on, where's that wrench? Oh, I got one for it. Here it is. Let's not drop that drawer on the floor. Oh, that's the big one. Gosh darn it. Will this one work? Oh, that's too small. Yep. That's for the high end. I got one. I know I do. Somewheres. That one's a big one too. Of course, I can't find the big ones when I actually wanted them, but now that I don't want them, that's all I can find. Yes, it's over here. This pile of crap. I don't see it. Okay, well, I can get the adjustable on it. I know I can. It just doesn't work so well because it's a little bit big and fat. Yeah, see, I don't think I can get that to tighten up on it. If I remember correctly. It'll never go tight. Because the V groove is too deep. Yep. So this has to be a frame piece. This, on the other hand, it'll tighten right up on. Yep. All right, that'll work. So this has to be a frame, even though it's a V groove. Beginning to look like Zolan's desk here. Can't have that. Don't like that. Can't have a Zolan desk in my house, man. And I got this plate too, which I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for. I might actually use this for the hot end. Instead of the little one. So, how long is this? How long is this? Which ones are my longest two? Well, there's no three the same size. All three are different sizes. But these are the closest to. But I think what I'll do is cut this one. Well, this is the one I've been playing with sanding because it's got all kinds of nicks and crap in it. These are my shortest two. So when I go to cut them, if I cut this one to match this one, and I cut this one to match this one, We'll have these two this way. These two this way. You know what? I might leave this extra long piece here. If you look down here, and make that my screen mount. Jimmy's Famous Seafood just canceled their food trucks because of it. Don't even know who Jimmy's Famous Seafood is, but sure. And these two, if I remember correctly, are darn close to the same length. And they are. So these are my bed sleds. I might have to kill it for just a minute and run outside in the rain and cut those two down. They don't need to be exact because I don't care about them being exact as long as they're reasonably close. Really, I think all I'm going to do is cut that one down. Like I said, I think I'm going to leave this one alone and let that be my screen mount. And these will go right here. And this will go right here. This little sled. Whoa, my window just shook. I got decent Anderson windows, so they shouldn't be shaking. Those are the same length. They are not V-groove, they're T-groove, so it's not a big deal. Somewhere around here, I got a piece of 2020 V-groove still left, too. I don't know where it is. That's really what I wanted to use for the sled. I don't know where it went. Wonder if it's in that box. It's all right. I think I got enough anyways. It's not that important. So, I think I need to run outside real quick in the crappy weather into my garage. Which means I'm going to have to move the truck in the crappy weather in the garage. I could bring the iPad with me to cut them. Right. Bloody well right. You know, you got a right to say. Right. You're bloody well right. You know, you got a right to say. And demonetized. Right. Can I thread these on the end? No. No, I did not. There's no real marks in that one. Oh, they are right there. Wow. Oh. No, those are T. They've bent T ones. Or did I? I wonder if one of these is the one I bent when I dropped a llama core. I know it isn't. I cut that out. I remember that now. I cut it out and threw it out. Because it was kinked. So, we have a plan. The start of a plan. And I need to cut these. Should I keep the stream going, cut them, and keep building? Or are you guys all going to evacuate if I do that? Right. You're bloody well, right? You know, you got a right to say. I shouldn't be singing. What's up, Dan? So I'm going to run outside and cut these down. I think that's really crazy in the wind because I got to move the van, but what the hell? Why not? Sides, uprights. That. I wish I had one more scrap so I didn't have to cut this. I need a top bar. Those. And a couple of short lead screws. These are the original lead screws from the Max Micron. And the only reason they got replaced is because I made them longer. Because they were short. I made it so I couldn't use the full height of the printer. So, what's up, Ann and Dan and so on, and anyone I haven't said hi to yet? Yeah, I'm debating. Should I go out and cut these and come back? It's up to you guys. I think I'm gonna. If you're still here, you're still here. Do I have a be right back frickin' thing? I do not. Cut 'em, Dan says. Hey, Dan, you want to come in and keep everybody occupied for 5 minutes and give us a status? And that way I can go out and it's not just a dead stream. Don't measure, cut 8 times. We have a rascally raccoon. Okay, not even a raccoon. We just got a gray screen.
Woke me soft.
All right, I'm going to run out and cut these. It's going to take me a minute because it's nasty out and I got to go out in the garage and move my van so I can get it to saw, which is probably not a good idea, but the van might not even start. I haven't started it in like a month.
Yeah, good luck.
And I will be back.
Oh, I know what I can do.
You're really quiet. Oh, maybe that's because my TV's turned way down.
Well, and I'm talking kind of quiet because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, I had my TV way down because I didn't want any feedback if it did feedback. I will be back in a moment.
Okay.
Or 10.
Hi, crazy people who actually watch Llama's channel. Hope everybody's having a good day. Do I want to do that or do I want to do something else? What do I want to do? I don't know what I want to do. No, I don't really want to do that. How's your day going, Dan? And we'll just open that for now. Open. Thank you. And launch. Yay! There I am, kind of. Okay, back over to the chat. No, you don't want me singing a song. You really do not want me singing a song. Okay, pull that over. I'd show flight videos, but FAA apparently has been going after people, and since Llama's channel's monetized, I can't do that. There we go. That's a little better. So he's out there cutting. That'll be interesting. He should have taken his iPad with him. Oh well. Is what it is. Oh, he isn't monetized? He said demonetized earlier, so I thought he was monetized. I didn't know that. But, you know, I also have to edit the videos so people can't see me, because apparently that's what the FCC needs to go after you. It wouldn't be a bloody mess. You know, maybe a finger or two, but, you know, you have to have a heart and blood in order to have a bloody mess. Anyway, so I shouldn't pick on him when he's not here to defend himself, but he'll watch it later. Haven't seen Dan on a stream in a while. That's been interesting. And it just happens to be my lunch break, so it works out kind of for me. I wish I could figure out something to do that won't get him in trouble, and at the same time is a little more interesting than just me sitting here babbling with no one else around, really. Cyberpunk 2077 soon. Yeah, not soon enough. No. Does Liftoff have a maybe? Where's Liftoff? There's Liftoff. Let's see if it has a windowed mode. Because part of the problem with playing Liftoff is if it doesn't have a windowed mode, I can't see the chat. Whoa. And all my video windows go black. That's different. And Alt-Enter. Aha, it does have a windowed mode. Okay, let's play with the resolution and fix that. So while that's doing that, I'm going to Alt-Tab over to OBS. Oh, maybe Llama's back. And we're going to go to in-game. I'm going to change this from that to that. There we go. And then I can come over here, options, graphics, resolution. That'll work. Cool. And now I can see chat. Yeah, I was a little worried about you. Found out earlier or late last night, my great uncle on one side is currently in Sioux Falls, Iowa hospital, and they don't have a ventilator to put him on. So he's probably not going to be with us much longer. Yay. Okay, controller. So Radio Master TX16. Actually, you know what? No, let's not use this controller. Let's use the Beta FPV controller. Which is in another room, so I have to go get it. Yay, but, you know, unlike him. Oh, hey, Llama's back. Imagine that.
I got one thing to say.
Huh?
Holy Hurricane Batman.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that bad. It is and it isn't.
I get it.
It's upper atmosphere. Like the top of the trees are really whipping. Down in the garage, it was like
hardly anything.
It wasn't rainy, but it wasn't that terrible. But I'm watching the trees like, and there's no leaves on them. So I did screw up because I cut the mid-length one to the short one, but
Whoops.
the way I'm building this, it ain't gonna matter anyways.
Boop, doop, boop.
So
There we
this is gonna go here. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there.
So Anne's wondering how many fingers you lost.
Huh?
Anne's wondering how many fingers you lost.
No. I am. That's one thing Llama is very good at, is cutting stuff. I have seen too many people in my day chop fingers off. Or
Yep.
hand. My neighbor who bought all our property, I grew up with him. He grew up 2 houses down that way. I grew up with him. His little brother was my best friend anyways. I worked for him for a few years. He builds modular homes, or he used to build modular homes. He's dead now, but he's one of those that used to take the chop box and he'd hold it like this.
Oh, no.
Cut his whole hand right off. Starting at the pinky knuckle all the way over, took the whole thumb off, the whole hand, chopped it right off. Because he pulled, it hit the wood, it bucked on a nail and went right across his hand. It's like if you use a chop box, one, you never cross the blade with your arm. You always hold it on the right side or left side if you're right-handed. And you pull it out with it up, drop it down in, and push it forward. That way when it bucks, it only bucks against your hand. It doesn't pull it out.
Right.
And I've seen many people do that. I had one guy that I worked with for a very short time. I couldn't work around him. He scared me. I started working for him. He was missing 2 fingers already. And I worked with him for about a month and a half. And at that point, he had lost 2 more fingers. And he had circular saws with the guards removed because they were a pain in his ass.
My dad one day at work was having a really bad day, and it just got worse because he was angry and using the dado, and it did a kickback on him, and his hand bounced off the dado pack.
I did do one stupid thing once with my father.
Just
I
one?
bought my father a really nice, when they first started coming out, Makita electric planer. The Makita was the king of all kings.
Yep.
At the time, the portables, the handheld planers, which in the 70s they were like $500-$600. Now they're like $50. You can go buy one at Home Depot. But it was, it was a top of the line one too. I got it from my father for his birthday. And we were out in the garage using it. And he went to set it down and he went to put it, blade down. And they always, they didn't have electric brakes back then. They just kept spinning.
Yep.
And I was like, the thing's brand new. It's not even an hour old. So I go to reach under and grab it. And I got it, but it caught my fingers and like took my pinky, my middle finger, and my right finger, like the tip off. That hurt.
Yeah, my dad, his middle finger and
put that down.
His middle finger and his ring finger on his one hand, on his left hand, which is hit the dado pack. One of them is missing half the tip. Yeah. And the problem with the real issue is he also plays bass guitar in a band.
Oh, well, that ain't helping.
No, he wasn't playing bass for a while.
No, I bet not. I'm gonna have to properly clean these at some point because there is wood chippy or metal chippies everywhere.
Oh no!
You know what? I'm just gonna kill my mic and vacuum.
Good idea. Well, that was stupid. No, there it is. I remember when I first started flying quads, I couldn't even get this little thing outside the hangar. Especially not in acro. Huh. I am getting better. Not much, but... Oh, of course. Where are the boundaries? Ooh. Oh, nope. Oh, I guess I don't have that set up yet. That was stupid.
I'll tell you, man. This brush head. See how it's like not round, it's like all elongated?
Yep.
I've yet to find another one like this that's the same. I've found similar, but not really the same.
Right.
This thing's awesome. And this is probably older than most of the people watching this because I bought this in 85 when I went to college. This was part of my college dorm vacuum. And I've had it ever since. I love this thing. I can't lose it. I still have the vacuum, actually.
So I was 9 when you got it.
Yeah, I bought it in 85 when I went to college. I was actually already in college, and my roommate was more of a slob than I was. And I was like, dude, we got to have a vacuum. And he's like, all right. And I had some money at the time because I just, won a bunch of money. And he had big bucks. His father was his father was the president of Wang Computers. I don't know
Oh,
if you
wow.
remember Wang Computers, but so we both had money and we went to Sears and bought the cheapest canister vacuum we could get. And it was like $49. And he's like, dude, you could just keep it. And I paid half, he paid half. And $49 back then was like $150 now.
Yeah, I know.
But it's still cheap for, I still got that canister vacuum. The thing still runs beautifully. The hardest part is I have to special order the bags for it. You can't they still make them. See, it's a Sears. You can still get them. You just got to special order them.
Does Sears even have the storefront anymore?
It's no, you got to get them at a regular vacuum place. It's the same as like the Mighty Mites. It's very similar in shape. Matter of fact, I have a feeling it was a Mighty Mite that they just rebranded. So I've adapted Mighty Mite vacuum bags to it a few times when I couldn't get any. But I use it for vacuum in the basement. Thing's got nuts still too. I mean, it's a ballsy little vacuum cleaner, and it's only about that big, little canister. The bags on it are like, it's full. I've actually gotten to the point where I empty them out and recycle them if it's nothing nasty and if it's just regular everyday vacuuming, because they're hard to get a hold of. They're not even expensive.
All freaking out all of a sudden.
They don't charge me a lot for them. They're just hard to get a hold of. So, that'll work. So I'm going to build this frame big because when I go for the giveaway, if someone wants to put a bigger bed on it, that's all it'll really need. So I'm going to leave all the parts like really big and long and ridiculously long. Although I don't think these are long enough. Go much bigger. It's gonna have this little itty bitty bed on that big ass frame. Here's the bed. I can almost put these on the inside. I might just suck them in, even though I'm going to leave the rods long. I might just suck them in like that. I think I will. And that way, if they get a bigger bed, they can just slide them out. This is a giveaway, by the way. When I'm all said and done, it's supposed to be given away. It's going to get auctioned off or raffled off or however you want to do it. Not raffled, because then I get in trouble. Whatever. It'll be a giveaway. Holy frickin' windstorm, Batman. It is. So, let's start putting it together. Let's get some of the crap I don't need this instant out of the way, so I can have the parts I do need in the way. Should I build it this way or this way? I think I'm going to go this way. I like this way better because it gives me a little height. And if I don't like it, I can always move it. Right. You bloody well, right? So, the next question is do I have enough screws and such for the L brackets? And can I use the open bills corner brackets, which have an issue?
Oh, I'm doing this wrong.
Because the open bills corner brackets are made for a bigger screw. So the head will literally pop right through. So you need a washer.
That's going to be roll.
Unless you have these things. Will these fit in the open bills of a catch? They look like they will. Are they too long? They look like they are not. Ooh, they are. But if I put a washer on it, that's enough. So, there we go. I'm going to have a buttload of these. These are leftovers from the ANET. And I got a lot of them. It should work. And they do thread into these, right? They are M5s, correct? Yes, they are. I think I got enough out for now. Washers. Those I have because I just bought a box of them. Probably going to burn through them all right here now, but that's all right. What's the fun of keeping them if you can't use them, right?
Yep.
And that will fit in there, correct? Yes. You couldn't ask for much better than that. So, buttons and stuff. Now, if I put this on, I may want to slide in T-nuts into here. There's still metal shavings in there. Can I still get the T-nuts into here? No. So if I pre-slide some T-nuts into there, actually I got all these cheapo spinners that I've never ever opened. Now I'll slide something. Actually, I'll slide those in and use the cheapos for this, because the bed is actually more important. So I will need one there, two there. Other side of these too. I might actually have to buy stuff for the Hodge Podge I'm not supposed to be buying anything for. That wouldn't be right. I think I got some old T-nut spinning somewhere. M5 or M4? I think these are M4. Maybe not. Yep, those are M4s. Those can go in windy out. It is zinging. Are these M4s or M5s? I think these are all M4s too. That's definitely an M4 or an M3. What was that? So, nope, that one is too. These are all M4s.
I don't know what's up. The game's like completely jacked. Oh, I'm in 3D. That's what's going on.
I'm pretty sure somewhere here I have some M5 already used.
I give up on this. I got to get out of here anyways.
Yep.
I'll hang out and chat, but I'm gonna go see what's going on otherwise.
Cool. Thanks for.
Yep. I'll hop back in if you need somebody else to be here for a moment while you go run to do something.
And I'm gonna have to grind tips off, aren't I? Yep. Damn it. I hate it when they do that. I can swear I ground some off of here, didn't I? Yeah, these are the other kind. Let's use these. It's going to be a hodgepodge. Let's hodgepodge the crap out of it. These are actually probably going to be a little more secure anyways, even though they're... that freaking washer won't fit. But this one should. If I can get my fing dangles in there to get it out. And it actually fits over it, which it might not. It doesn't. Holy wind blowing Batman. I'm surprised I still got power. To be honest with you. Is that too deep? Oh, it's so very close. But I really want to put a washer under it. Which I don't think I can, because the washer that fits this is too big for that, and the one that fits that is too small for this. Just losing here. Losing big. I wonder if I can force that in there. It's so close. So very, very close. Nope, that ain't going in there. All right, I think I'm going to stand still until I figure out how I'm going to figure that out. But I do have a plan. I've been going for a little over an hour, which is all I wanted to do anyways. So, yeah, I will probably build this off stream. I don't know if I'll even record it or not, but I will start building the frame. Could just grind these off and use these, which I have plenty of, and they're bigger. Unless it's a pain in the butt. But I got a lot of them. I don't want to use the silver ones because I like those. All right, so I'm going to call a halt on this because I have to figure out a few things. But I don't know if you guys paid attention enough to get the plan or not, but there is a plan. And it looks like I can accomplish it one way or another. Even if I have to play a few games to get it done. It can be done. I will be doing it. Just a little bit later. I have a feeling I'm going to lose power soon because it is getting bad bad out there. Really, really bad. Do I have a bucket right here? When I had a bucket right here, I had empty, like a little cup. You have bearings. That's good. Gonna need those. So, we have a basic idea. We have a plan, which was all today was supposed to be, was to get a plan. And I have a plan. Dan missed the plan. The plan is I'm going to make an i3 frame out of all these scraps. I wasn't sure originally if I was going to do an i3 or if I was going to do a box frame like a Core XY type. I wasn't going to do Core XY, but something along those lines. More like an ender. But I really don't have enough extrusions and motion system for it. So it's going to be an I-frame. But I do think I'm going to use the smooth rods and pulleys and do a belted addition to this. So you're not getting this motor, Dan. I was going to send you this motor. I'm not going to send you this motor. But I'm going to use this motor. So I'm going to have this raise and lower the carriage. But then the other carriage, it's going to have a belt coming off of this carriage that goes across and belts the other carriage. So it'll be both belt and lead screw for the Z, which will be fun designing that carriage, but I can manage it. Yeah, I know you got plenty of motors, which is why I didn't bother sending it to you. And I got buttloads more. The only thing I don't think I have, I sent you the pancake motor, didn't I? I had one pancake motor that I was thinking about using for the extruder. Although, I don't know. I have to think about that some more. I have plenty of motors. That I do not have a shortage of. You know, maybe I'll just 3D print brackets. Yeah, they're never strong enough. Not for the frame. I want to use the aluminum L brackets. So I was thinking of making a direct drive. I'm going to use the A-net freaking odd end, which is going to be fun, but I've already modified it, so it should be better than stock. Because even though it's lined, I'm not using any of the hot ends where the tube comes from the actual extruder and is a single tube and goes all the way to the nozzle and insets into the nozzle. Many of them actually inset into the nozzle. That's an MK9 or an MK10. MK8, your heat break actually has its own 3mm tube instead of a 4mm exterior. It's 2mm interior, 4mm or 3mm interior. 3mm exterior, 2mm interior. There we go. The MK8s are better for that because you don't have that every time the retraction, the tube could separate because it's held by the clip. The heat break I have, there's a lip in the heat break and you put the tube in from the bottom. Robbie Mack, just in time for me to quit. I'm literally quitting right now. Killing it. So we have a plan. I will start building it on my spare time. I probably won't live stream it all or even record it all, although I should record some of it. Maybe I will. I'll just use the iPad. This actually isn't bad for right here. And that way I can record it and just kind of do like a time-lapsey thing. But for now, I'm going to kill the stream because I seriously have a feeling I'm going to lose power because it is freaking gnarly out. The wind is zinging. And I mean zinging now. It's worse now than it was, 15 minutes ago when I went outside. It is zinging out there. So anyways, on that note, we have a plan. I'm going to build this thing. It's going to get done. Maybe even before the end of 2020. Maybe. All right, I'm out. Later, guys.